Testing. Make sure these tabs work. And then we're gonna get into it. I know we kinda late today. Kinda late, I ain't gonna lie. But it'll be alright. It's alright. You can always go back and watch the lives if you miss it. So that's the good thing. Alright, tabs change. So let's go ahead and get into it. I ain't gonna waste my time. Like I said, it's 11 p.m. So almost midnight. But today we finna go over our trade recap for Thursday, September 25th, and then Friday, September 26th. All right. So give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So let's remove. Well, let's put it on replay. We can take our time with this. All right. Now, y'all, coming into Thursday, when we did our stream on Wednesday, we had stated that, hey, we looking at SPY. Hold up, let me zoom out. We looking at SPY. Of course, it's in the uptrend, right? Uptrend. We said Monday we ended up taking some longs on ES. We didn't take it on SPY. We tried to take some SPY longs on Tuesday, but we realized quickly, hey, market was shifting. Once that 11:30 mark came on Tuesday, it was like, okay, we took one last long and we couldn't hold our bullish stance no more, and we end up flipping short right after the 11:30 mark on Tuesday. So right here, right in this area, right here. Yep, 11:30. As you can see, the market had, like we said, we stayed bullish. We took them longs on ES down here. End up adding positions up here and continued our longs out straight to TP. Once we got up here, okay, this was Monday. Remember, this was Monday. So we only took future trade because usually I don't like buying contracts on a Monday just because I feel like they're overpriced unless the market is just going to rapidly move. So we waited till Tuesday. We said, okay, market is just being steadily here. So we do expect these highs right here of this 667.29 to get taken. All we need is once it take these highs, can it close past to keep going higher? Well, we end up taking our loans right here around the open. Took our loans. Yes, it took the high. It did take the high, and we took this on SPY. Ended up taking the high, so we technically could have got out, but it wasn't no money really from basically 660 to 667.30s. So let me zoom in a little bit more. It might be a little too small for y'all. All right, but yeah, we end up taking the highs, but we just swept the high. We swept the highs and ended up coming right back, making a lower low. I ended up getting stopped out. I just waited. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna wait because we did sweep the highs. I'm gonna wait until we come take the highs again in order to get back in the long, which we never did. We just kept flushing. I did not take the shorts at the beginning just because I was like, hey, I'm still staying bullish. Overall, market structure is still bullish. Yes, we're moving in a downtrend for right now, but I was like, hey, overall market structure is still bullish. I'm gonna just wait, and I know Powell speaking at 11:30, he could shoot us right back up to the all-time highs. So that's what I kind of did. I waited till like 11:15, 11:30. When I seen this green counters come, I took one more loan. I said I'm gonna give it one more shot of loans. If it breaks this loan, this bullish structure that we're trying to, I'm anticipating to happen, but we continue to keep going our downtrend, then I was like, okay, loans off the table. And what happened? We ended up pushing up, but we ended up coming right back down, sweeping the lows, making a lower low. I got stopped out, and instantly, once it pulled back a little bit, I ended up getting them short, and catching that whole way down, which was nice, you know. Ended up making it covered both these two losses because these two losses wasn't bad at all. Ended up covering both them two losses with just this one trade. Um, and that was our Tuesday. So Monday we took the loans, perfect day. Tuesday we took two loans, but they was real small losses, because of our good stop loss, and then we ended up flipping short. Once Tuesday short came, we was like, okay, we we got our we got our red candle now. Let me make it where y'all can see the whole structure. We got our first red candle. So Tuesday, we got our first red candle right here. I was like, okay, well, we made our high highs. The market's telling us, hey, we're looking for a low. Either it can be a higher low or it can be a lower low, but we know we're looking for a low. But once I seen that first red candle, what is that telling me? Okay, we're looking for a low, either higher low or lower low. But if the market somehow want to switch to a downward structure, where will it bounce it if it switches us to a downtrend? Well, when I look over here on the daily, we had a fair value gap right here at 657 to 657.25. So it was basically 657.52 to 657.29. That was the first gap. Then we had another gap right here at 655.08 and 652.74. We had another fair value gap, which was already tested one time right here. Um, but we had another gap. So I was like, okay, market could, if we switch to a bearish structure, market could be trying to come down here. And we don't even have to technically move to a bearish structure on a daily, just because we can come tap this gap without breaking a lower low. We can come tap this gap without breaking a lower low. So we technically didn't have to switch to bearish structure, but I was just like, hey, those two potential spots to bounce. So that was our Tuesday. Wednesday ended up coming. And let me show y'all on the lower time frame. Wednesday ended up coming, and we was like, hey, we gonna still stay thinking that pullback might come to the daily fair value gaps. So we still we still stay with the bearish sentiment, right? Once we opened with inside the range of this Tuesday candle, I was like, okay, that's perfect because since we opened inside the range of the Tuesday candle, I'm knowing, hey, we not gonna leave any, missing gaps or nothing like that. So if the market do decide to switch to a downtrend, we should just be able to just flush straight down. So that's what we did. We ended up pushing down. I waited on a pullback. We got our pullback. And I just said, as soon as this low get taken, I'll be looking for another short. And that's what I did. It came, took this low. I ended up getting another short. Um, on that ES. So we ended up taking another short, and I took it on spot. Ended up taking another short. We got stopped out somewhere up here. We got stopped out. Then we also ended up taking longs also because we was like, hey, this might be where it bounced because we seen. Let me see on the daily. Well, it's probably hard to see. That was the 1 hour. That was what it was. On that 1 hour, we was at like a fair value gap. I was like, we might can bounce. So I was no, we was at a regular gap. I was like, we might can bounce. I ended up taking the longs. Didn't last long, but we still hit our targets. Um, it didn't hit our ultimate target, but we still got our first targets to get hit. But we was looking for that potential bounce here. It didn't break all the way out. And that was our Wednesday. Then we had said on the stream, we was like, for Thursday, we was like, hey, this is what we expecting. We got Tuesday red, Wednesday red. I told y'all, I said Thursday, I expect us to drop. I expect the market to come down to these fair value gaps. Cause I had took them shorts. I took them shorts. Cause I remember I had swung shorts. On Tuesday evening I had bought some shorts to swing. And it was 2 days or whatever. But I didn't hold them to the last day. I just didn't want to hold them to the last day. But it was fine. But we said for Thursday we was like, hey, we expect the market to come down to this fair value gap. Um, and that's what we was looking for. We looking for that fair value gap to get tapped. And we said once that fair value gap get tapped, uh, we expect the market to possibly, that's where we're gonna bounce. We probably gonna bounce and start moving back up for Thursday. Um, so that's really what we said on that stream. We was like, hey, I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? I think I told you I was like 98% sure. Because I think at first I said 100% sure. And I was like, nah, I'm about 98% sure because you can't be 100. I'm pretty sure we finna come down here to this daily fair value gap. Once I seen that pre-market, we was already at this gap. I was like, if we open, I told y'all, I said, if we open up down here, I expect them shorts. I expect us to drop to this daily fair value gap down at 656. I know it's kind of hard to see because I got these hourly fair value gaps in the way. But if you can kind of see where the red lines at, end up coming down to our ultimate fair value gap down here. See that? End up coming down to here to our ultimate. I don't know why my drawings are off. Because this ain't even supposed to be up here. Sometimes it be doing it. Sometimes it be glitching. Because it's supposed to be down here. I don't know why it's up there. Because it ain't, y'all know I ain't even finna put no red boxes where there ain't no gap. So we just delete it. It's fine. We just delete it. But, yeah, let's just delete it. And I'll just show y'all like this. It's completely fine. So give me 1 second. Let me delete these so I can show y'all clearer. It'd be clear. Because I don't know. I think sometimes when I open multiple tabs, like I go up here and open tabs, um, sometimes it be messing my drawings up. And I also be looking at, like I'll be looking at the mobile phone while I'm having these tabs open. So sometimes I think that'd be throwing it off. Oh, I ain't mean to delete that. We got to show y'all the trade. Yeah, I got to show y'all the trade. I think it just, when it just right here, I can get all the way over there. It's okay. It is what it is. I know what the trade I took, so I'll show y'all. Okay. But like we were saying, I keep that outlet drawing. But like we were saying, Thursday in the pre-market we was already below this gap right here. So let me mark that gap out. We was already below the 657 gap. Yeah, cause my contracts, I bought my contracts and they was supposed to expire on the 25th, so that would have been that Thursday. But I sold them cause I was like, I don't want to risk it being zero DTE. Cause I already, like I said, I already had took most of that drop, not the very top, but I took a lot of that drop, like right here down. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and close them, just in case. I don't want my the theta and stuff to kill my contract. But like we were saying, Thursday, I believe we had. I think pre-market we was already below there. Let me check. Yeah, pre-market we was already down here. And I was like, hey, if we open up below this daily gap, um, down here, 657. Well, technically it didn't even open. Did it open? See, it be messing me up, y'all, cause I can't have my drawings how I want it to be. Oh, I think I drew out this right here, this order block. That's what I did. That's where that other red was at, y'all. It was this order block. So I was saying if we opened up below this order block at 658, I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure we finna come down to the second fair value gap down at 655. Um Yeah, I believe that what it was. Was that? Let me see. 55. I think that was it was. Let me get. I actually gotta get in the pre-market. Let me check and see. Thursday. I hate that my drawing's not where they supposed to be. Or was it to come? I think it was to come to this gap. I think that what it was. No, it couldn't be in that gap. I don't feel like redrawing all this stuff. Yeah, what it be? Let me go back to the daily. Y'all give me 1 second. If I could pull up the other live where you can listen to what I was saying. Cause look, there are my drawings right here. So yeah, why can't I see the drawings when I go on the lower time frame though? Like what's going on? Maybe I need to take it off replay. Cause there go my drawing here. Put it back on the 1 hour, see if it pop back up. The other drawing. Okay. Let me take the replay off. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need to take the replay off, y'all. Maybe the replay is messing it up. I don't know. Alright, replay is off. Yeah, because they don't even got my, they ain't even got all my drawings in the right spot. Because I know Thursday I end up going long and short. I went short first and then I ended up going long. Because I told y'all I was going to go down. I'm trying to drag these over. What the? Turn the magnet off, please. You're going to make me mad. I might just delete all this and just tell y'all. Cause I know what the trades I took. Well, I at least know the short. And then I know I flipped long. But dang, that's why I had left these drawing tools up. Because I wanted to show y'all the trades I took. But it's mud. I think these were just on the side. I think those were just on. That's what I was looking for in the pre-market. Before everything opened. But I know for a fact these small ones was actual trades I took. But I know I took a short first, then I went long on Thursday. But it's only showing my long, it's not showing the short. Go to 5 minutes. I know I went because I went short. Like, did I go short first or did I go long first? I thought I went short first. Yeah, I went short first. 'Cause I said it was gonna come down here, but I don't know why it's not showing the short. Oh, there it is. It's on the 5 minute. There it is. Man, I was about to say I know I went short. I ain't know it was on 5. The drawing was on 5 minute. My bad, y'all. My bad. Here we go. Let's move this over. Okay, so like I was saying, so in the pre-market, like I told you, I was like, now let me go back to this hourly. Alright, what I was about to say? What I was about to say? My bad, y'all had got a tick. I'm look, man. It's Friday night, y'all. Almost midnight. Y'all gotta forgive me. So let me restart this, y'all. Okay. So on Thursday, like we said, um, yeah, I was looking for shorts because I was like, that would have was we was gonna gap. That would have was based on how this candle had closed. So we had closed up here, I believe on no, that ain't Thursday. Where is Thursday? No, Wednesday. We closed up here around 660. And I told y'all, I said, hey, when we was in the pre-market, I was like, if this candle open up down here, if this daily candle for Thursday open up down here, I'm expecting us to come down to this daily gap at 657 and then potentially come down to the 655 gap to then look for our bounces. Because we was like, hey, if it gap down, if we don't push back up here to be able to, open up within the body of the Wednesday candle, it's gonna leave a gap above and it's gonna be gap down. And I was like, hey, one or two things gonna happen. Either we're gonna push straight back up to clear that gap, and then we might come down to, retest these fair value gaps. Or we might push straight down to get the gaps, then push up to come clear the daily gap and switch back bullish. So that's what I told y'all I was expecting. Um, when I went down to my 5 minute and cause we had opened up, we gapped down, we opened up. When I went to my 5 minute, I was like, okay, I see the shorts clear as day. It looked like we finna go straight down. And like I said, I ended up taking them shorts literally like right at the open. Like, soon the market open, I think I'll jump in shorts right at the jump. Let's see. Yeah, I jumped in literally on that first 5 minute counter. Soon as 5 minute counter closed, I got in the shorts. Um, I was targeting. I think I did target it. I don't know why I didn't. No, I just got out early. I got out early. I was trying to hold it all the way down, but I got out early. I think the 1 minute kind of messed it up. I should have just left it to the TP, but I think that 1 minute, or we had like an hourly. I think we had an hourly gap right above this one, so that's probably why I got out too. But I did take them shorts. Caught a nice 2-to-1 basically, or 1 to 2, however you want to say the ratio. Risk to reward. Took them shorts. Like I told y'all, I was just looking for us to tap here, tap this fair value gap, and I said, hey y'all, this might be where we'll get them loans at. You know, once we tap in here, we gotta wait on that market structure shift. So I kind of seen the market structure shift coming to happen. I think on the 1 minute right here, this actually gave us some market structure, so I ended up going long. Set my stop loss at the lows. I first was targeting these highs right here. We ended up taking them highs. So I was like, okay, that's good. Then I was targeting these highs right here at the 659. We didn't quite get to take the highs. Once we got up there, this blue line right here, y'all see, I used this blue line basically as like I was trying to use it as support. Once we got above it, so we got above it, it broke back below it, it failed. We couldn't break through. So we did it again. We broke above. This time it kind of held. But we just couldn't close past these highs anymore. And once we came back down to it, I ended up just closing that trade. Cause I was like, hey, the market might try to dip a little bit more and then come back up. So I ended up actually closing my trade without going all the way to TPs, which was fine. I had two perfect trades. So I was like, okay, it's cool. And then, like I said, a little shortly after I got out, we actually did take that. We swept the high, and I was like, dang, it's probably gonna go. But once I seen it fail to close above the high, I was like, oh no, it's gonna come sweep, drop again. And that's what it did, dropped again. But I didn't get in after that. Like after them two trades, I was done for the day. But it dropped again. Uh, and then it ended up pushing at the end of the day. When I seen that Thursday candle had pushed up, I believe we had closed green. Yep. And I seen it had pushed up and closed green. And me knowing, hey, this is literally the last fair value gap we got. Let me mark this low. Put the magnet back on. This is the last fair value gap we got before we get to that can't beat level, which is right here at this 652.49. I said this is the last fair value gap we got, you know. So if the market gonna bounce, it has to be there, or we gonna change the market structure shift. How we gonna make a lower low? We gonna make market structure shift. So once I seen this green candle, get closed, and we closed above both the gaps. So we rejected both the gaps, daily gaps, the regular gap and the fair value gap. I was like, okay, yeah, Friday, I'm only expecting one or two things to happen Friday. I was like, either we going to move sideways or we finna move up. That was the only two things I was envisioning. I was not thinking drop or nothing, but I really didn't want to trade Friday just because I was like, hey, I'm not expecting nothing crazy to happen. I do expect us to possibly have a green candle for that day. I was like, but I'm not. I was like, I can't see us squeezing. I was thinking, I was like, I could see us squeezing up to like 662, 663, which I did take that trade. I took a loan. But that was the most I seen us go. I did not expect us jump all the way back to the all time highs, even with the news for Friday. So that what happened. So I kinda got on a little bit late too in the market, y'all. Today, but it was fine because I was out doing stuff. So I just got on like at like 9:30 or so, and then that's when I finally found me a trade. But um, what I was gonna say? What I was gonna say? Yeah, I was like, we either gonna move sideways or we gonna move up. Um, I wanted to take this on ES when we first broke out right here. I wanted to take them long, but I didn't. I was like, I'm gonna wait till the market open up and everything. As y'all can see, this white line right here. When I finally started looking at the market, I told you it was like 9:30 or so. So it was right around here. When I had seen this, I had this downtrend marked up already, right? This downtrend was from I think I drew this on Thursday. I drew that downtrend. I was like, okay, we had to break, but we failed to hold out. We failed to hold out. So I was like, okay, well, I'm expecting us to break one more time. If we break one more time, we at least gonna come test these highs again. So that would happen. We end up getting that green counter. If y'all can see, we barely had a green counter push past slightly, but that next counter opened up outside of it, so it was perfect. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was sitting here looking at this, and I kind of messed myself up today. Like the maximum profit I could have made on options, but I still made money, but I could have maxed out a little bit more. If I would have stayed with SPY and didn't try to go look for other charts, I would have made way more. But it's fine. Um, cause I seen this. As soon as I seen this green counter, y'all, I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we finna come back and get these high. At least come to the top of these where these two counters overlap. That was my target. If y'all can see, I don't know why it's a little bit down, but my target was for these two counters to overlap. Um, and then eventually the high of them counters. But I was like, it might not do it today. It might just get close to it. And when I seen this green count, I was like, okay, I see higher high. Well, I see high, low, higher high. It's potentially that new higher low. Um, well, actually, it made a lower low. So. But I kind of was looking at it as that new higher low. Um, soon I seen that green, and like I said, I seen this break of this downtrend. I was like, man, I was honestly finna go long. Soon I seen it, I was gonna go long. Soon as the hourly opened and take it to the top, but I didn't. I had jumped over to CrowdStrike. As y'all can see, it's number 2 on my list now because I had to move it up. I jumped over to CrowdStrike. I was trying to look at other stocks and stuff. Um, I had to end up getting CrowdStrike loans before that spot ended up doing that hourly counter. I ended up getting spot loans. I mean CrowdStrike loans, just because I was like, because this is what I was telling myself. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna risk no more than like $100 or something today. Looking to make 200 or so. on options. So I was like, I'm not gonna risk nothing really because I didn't really expect much for Friday. So I was like, I said, who gonna make me the most money? I was like, if I go buy a $70 contract for CrowdStrike, and CrowdStrike can easily run up what $10 or so. You know what I'm saying? Five, six, at least $5, $6 or so. Where with Spy, I was just thinking like normally how Spy moves, it might barely make it $3 up. But you can't think like that, you know, because just because one stock moved $10 in a day, $2, it depends on like when it comes to options, it depends on how them stocks move. Cause yeah, Spy only probably moved $2 in one day or $3 in a day, but them $3 moves on Spy can probably be like a $4 move on a $4 or $5 move on Meta or CrowdStrike. So I kind of messed myself up a little bit on it. It only pertains when it's early in the week. When it's Friday, it don't really pertain as much. I mean, it kind of do a little bit, but let me tell y'all what messed me up. It was the spreads. The spreads was what had messed me up. I knew about the spread because when I had went on the contract, because I just went and grabbed me like a little. I think I paid $40 for it. A $40 CrowdStrike loan. It was 485. 485 loans. I had bought them when we was down here at this like 440. I think I bought it at four when we was at 478, and I was looking to go up to like 83, and I was gonna sell. That was what I was looking for, 83. But I was like, hey, it can potentially push us above this daily gap at 86. So that's why I was okay with the 85, 485. I was like, I really just looking for 83, but we possibly can push up to 86, try to break out this gap. That's why y'all see them two alerts. So I ended up getting them loans, but like I told y'all, what messed me up was the spread. The spread messed me up. Um, the contract I was buying, like I said, it was $40, but the the bid was like when it was 40, I think the bid was like 30. So it was like $10 or so. Man, when I tell you, as y'all can see, it was going up the whole time. Yes, it was moving kind of slow. Like it was moving a little slow to go up. It took literally 2 hours to go up. But when I tell y'all, no, actually, yeah, I got in. Cause like I said, it was before that Spy Green count. So I think that Spy Green count was at 10. So I got in like right around 9:30. So I got in off of this red counter. That's where I got in at. It was like off of this red counter, like toward the end of this red counter. Um, like around 9:40, 9:30. I got in. It was at four. I remember I got in at like 478, 477, and I think it was on this red counter. Um, but like I said, it took 2 hours to go up. Yeah, I understand. It took a little while. But man, it still went straight up. You know what I'm saying? It still went up. So that what kind of made me a little upset. Cause I was like, man, I'm trying to go on ahead and sell. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get to my target. So I ended up closing it like right here. But that spread, like I seen the contract when it pushed up here. Um, my contract went up to like $80 or so, $90. But the spread price it was like only 40 or 50. So literally, when it just ticked one time down, don't even go like 10 cents. My contract instantly was down. Well, it wasn't negative, but it dropped down like $20. I said, what the? I said, oh heck no, the spreads just was so trash. So at that point, I was like, next time it come back up here, I'm just gonna sell. And that what it did. It came back up here, I just sold it. I said I ain't want to deal with the spread or nothing like that. But while I was in that trade, I looked at spot contracts and tell me why all the spot contract spreads was only like $4 or so. So I'm like, bruh, I could have instead of having like a $10 spread. I mean, not $4. It was like $2. You know what I'm saying? Like $2 and some change spread. Um, I could have had like a $2 spread versus a $10 spread. You know what I'm saying? And my SPY pushed straight up. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up getting in some SPY loans, like right here. Like I said, I ended up catching me a little bit of money, but it wasn't. I could have made way more if I would just put that same amount of money on SPY and just went with it because it had less spread. Um, it cost less too because my 485 one was what, three out the money, two out the money. Where the SPY, I was looking at because the contract I bought here, it was 661. So it was literally 661 when it was at 659. I bought the 661 loan. Um, and they literally was way cheaper than my CrowdStrike one with less spread. So like I said, I could have spent that same amount of money here and made way more than I made on CrowdStrike, but it's fine. Them Fridays be tricky sometimes because you got zero DT, like all that stuff in the expire. Um, it's Friday, end of the week, real volatile, spreads big, all of it. So, cause it's kind of like how Monday be, honestly. Except Monday, you can make money. This is the difference between Monday and Friday. Well, Mondays, yes, you overpaying for contracts. The spreads be big, but you can make money as long as it go your way. You be making money, you know, just because it's so early in the week and the contract still got 4 days left on it. So as long as it go your direction, it don't matter if it took all day. You gonna be up. You know what I'm saying? The spread gonna be trash when you trying to when it's not in your favor. It's gonna be trash because you're gonna be losing a whole bunch. But if it just goes slightly your direction from when you bought it, you're gonna be up. Versus Friday, it can go if it's just taking a little too long, like 10 minutes. If it literally you can be one. Say if like SPY came up to 661, and then 10 minutes later it pushed down to 660, but then the next 10 minutes it came back to 661. You would probably be down. Say your contract was $100. When you first came up here at 661, you probably was up $10. Then when it came down at 10 minutes, and then it came back up the next 10 minutes, boy, you probably down $20. Even though it's still at 661 within a 30-minute time frame. Just because it's Friday and it's getting close to expiration. So that's the thing that kind of can mess you up on Fridays is that Theta, all that other them Greeks, they be killing you on Fridays, man. I swear. But yeah, that was our recap. That was the only trades we took. Um, and yeah, like I was telling y'all about um the account that we gonna have for the YouTube. I think I'm gonna buy a Top Step one because it's more friendly. It's like easier to kind of use when if I'm trying to record it and stuff. So I think I'm gonna buy a Top Step account. That's gonna be the account for the channel, y'all. Think the Top Step one just because we can make as much as we want to make. Yes, we gotta get to 5 days, but we can make as much as we want to make on a trade without having consistency rules and stuff like that. And I really hate to trade like all them rules and stuff for the YouTube. My Apex got rules and stuff, so and I want us to be able to make sure we get all our payouts for the channel versus we mess up one rule on Apex or something and we get denied even though we had good days trading. So, all right, maybe down the line we'll do Apex and everything for the channel like later down the line. But right now we're gonna do the friendly, easiest one, which is Top Step. Um, and then I also want to try out Take Profit Trader, y'all. I'm gonna try that out personally myself and see how it go, cause they got daily payouts. We're gonna try Take Profit Trader. I'm gonna try it by myself first, see how it go, and then I'm gonna see if I want to use that with the channel later. That might be the next one we do. We're gonna do take. We want to do Top Step one, and I'm gonna come up with some challenges like. We're gonna have certain goals like we gotta get three payouts or something. Then we're gonna have a goal, make this certain amount before we do a payout. Stuff like that. You got challenges, all right? Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Got our recap. Y'all might get a stream on Saturday or Sunday of our analysis and just playing around and stuff like that. All right. Y'all have a good one.